welcome back.
Thank you.
Your decision to come back to the Sounders. Take us through that.
Yeah, it was it was a long one. A process that I'm grateful to have gone through. I think sometimes you need to know what you're giving up to choose to stay, and I did get to know that, and very happy to be back. Longer process than I probably would have imagined, and a lot of people would have imagined, but back as a Sounder, and I'm very happy about it.
You talked about the long process there. Maybe you can shed some light on the length and kind of just how many different teams you may have talked to, and specifically why then you ended up kind of coming back here.
Yeah, kind of started from like the summer onwards, and that's a challenge that every player has to go through at some point, where you're sort of playing through that and managing game by game and being able to compartmentalize, what's happening off the field and still compete and whatnot. But I talked to a lot of teams in the MLS and a couple teams abroad as well, and just still felt like my heart was here, and like I haven't given everything here yet. I haven't won a championship here yet, and still would love to do that. And I think I've talked to a couple of you. I talked to Jeremiah about the process a little bit longer, and appreciate the article you wrote on that. But it's been it's kind of a whirlwind of a year. But happy to be settled here for a little while and help this team get some more hardware in that cabinet over there.
What was the most important thing about, at least for yourself, to do the free agency and talk to different teams? Like, what was it, a validity? What did you feel like was important for you to just have that experience?
Yeah, I think so. I think the process was validating. I wanted to see where my market value was, if it was where I thought it was, and I think that was confirmed for me. And I think the other thing too is you players in your career, you don't get many chances where you get to really have a choice, and I'm grateful that I had a moment like that. Some players never get that opportunity, and I had a moment where I really got to choose what mattered, and that ended up being here. So yeah, it was but I got to know Craig and Adrian better, and I think we both have more respect for each other now too, and got fresh perspectives on myself as well, and grateful for all of that.
Not to diminish your technical abilities, but the X factor of Paul a lot of times is that hunger, that drive, that ability to be in every game. Mm-hmm. How do you keep that once you get a raise, you get an extension? Mm-hmm. How do you stay hungry?
Yeah, I think that's a bit of a part of my personality. I'm always kind of striving for the next thing, and the goalposts have shifted for me this time. There's new expectations. I have new expectations of myself every year. I set goals for myself, and those are different this year. They're going to be different in a few weeks, in a few months too. So, I think the positive of having a bit of a longer contract is I can, I don't have that uncertainty in the same way, and I think that'll actually maybe allow me to play better. But knowing that I'm here and I can give everything here, and I'm going to be here for a while. But I think the hunger stays. Like, you guys know me by now. I'm striving for bigger things now. And last season was good. It wasn't what I wanted still. I think we have a lot more to accomplish for myself here and for the team. I think we were a better team than what we finished with last year, and I think we're building something good here. So,
how do you go about navigating that transition from whether or not you had high expectations for yourself? The expectations from outside were sort of like, wow, Paul's this local kid who's doing really well, but it's now there's real expectations. Like, you have a real pro contract. You have the organization isn't looking at you as a nice to have, but like a core piece now.
Yeah, I think that's a different place to be in, and that's gonna. That's a newer place for me. I think I've always had this underdog, forgotten kid mentality, and that's shifting, right? I'm in a different spot now, and I understand that, and that's a bit of a mentality shift for me that I'm going to be working on too. But it's a good question.
Is it true that you could have taken more money elsewhere than here?
That is true. You know, I money's not everything, and I still feel that it made the most sense to stay here. I think I'm going to be rich in other ways staying here.
And then what do you feel early on about like the depth chart in your position and, you know, what you're going to face as far as, you know, competition to get those starting
we've
minutes
got
again?
a lot of depth everywhere. I mean, I think particularly in the attack, we've got so many weapons, and I think the guys who embrace that in the best way are gonna play the most. So that's what I'm planning on doing, and just embracing the competition. I think it's gonna make us all better. I think last year you saw that made a lot of us better. You know, the positions where there were a lot of competition, I think everyone stepped their game up. So I'm hoping that continues for us all, and that, you know, we can compete out here and then shake hands right when we come off, and I think we will. We have a really good locker room this year, and we're building on, you know, the good vibes that we created last year. So.
And you feel less trying to fight for minutes and more so understood about what you can contribute? Like, do you feel?
I don't think so. I mean, I think if I stayed here, if I went anywhere, that's the reality of being a pro, right? So you have to fight every day, and as soon as you lose that edge, you lose your spot too. So, I mean, I think I can rely on a lot of some of our older players like that. They still bring it every day. Look at guys like Christian and Steph, and you know, those guys are still bringing it every day and competing. Like, you know, I was going to use a swear word there, but I decided not to. But yeah, I don't think that's going to change. I have to keep, you know, bringing the best version of myself every day.
You said in the process you got to know Craig and Adrian better. What maybe did you learn about them and learn about the culture from the top down of this club that maybe wasn't as fresh in your mind before?
Yeah, I don't know. I think we had a lot of conversations, and I think, to give them both credit, they're both willing to have tough and honest conversations, and you know, I was really honest with them. They were really honest with me in moments, and we were able to find, you know, ways to make it work with each other, and you know, I think they helped me understand, you know, how they're looking to build a roster, where I fit into that too, and you know, I think we both made some compromises in the process, but yeah, I think just getting to talk to them more on, you know, in the contract process and whatnot, and yeah.
Can I wanted to ask if you knew Hassani before, or like what's your. You
I know Hassani a little bit.
Yeah.
He's a Corver kid. I don't know if you guys know Corver. It's like a technical training program that I used to do as a kid, and he was one of those kids as well. So I kind of knew him from afar there, and we used to talk about that when we'd go to Minnesota and stuff. But seems like a good guy. Seems like he's cut from the same cloth as a lot of Sounders. So happy to have him too.
Just your
Last one,
thoughts
guys.
on last one. Just your thoughts on how people maybe responded to, you know, the moments where perhaps you could not be here. You know, there was a moment where the fans didn't know if you were going to stay or not, and there was a lot of sentiment where they really wanted you to stay. How does that make you feel when you feel like the community, you mean so much to the Sounders community?
Yeah, I think I've felt the Seattle love since I've got here, and you know, I can't say that wasn't a part of this too. You know, this community is really special to me, and the fact that I'm one of them means a lot. And yeah, so I appreciate the love. I hope that continues, and yeah, it's you know, something I'm really grateful for while I'm here. It's something I don't take lightly.